Well, it's noon here in Ventnor, New Jersey on the East Coast, and this is news that you can use from YAA with your hosts, Zach and Ray. And apparently, today is Chest Hair Thursday. And had I known, I would have worn a different shirt. And of course, I would have had to get a chest hair toupee, unlike my son, who is, I don't know, like a gorilla.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Give us a more complete look. Oh my God. Button up.
All right. Give me a second. All right, we are going to
Jeez.
kick things off with, Dad, dealer profits. We're starting to get the Q2 earnings reports. Dealer profits have never been higher. Wow, Igor. Good evening, guys. I'll stick around as long as I can before our business dinner at 6:30 p.m.-ish. Wire harness, zinc, and a few other natural resources are in short supply, but chips are around. Igor, I'm going to be texting you after the show. Want to see if we can maybe even get you on the show maybe next
Yes.
week when you come back so we can get some insights from your travels. Pops, let's kick
Yes.
things off with dealer profits, and let's start with Lithia Automotive, Dad. They reported their net income, their revenues, all that fun stuff, Q2. How much do you think they made per new vehicle sold? Per new vehicle sold, how much do you think they made gross profit?
Well, this is not a fair question because I actually read the article, and it was about $30 less than $6,000 per car, per new car sold. $6,000. Now, if I may, let me just remind people that, say, 2.5, 3 years ago, the average front end new car profit in a new car dealership was somewhere between $250 and $300 per car. And at that time, a strong F&I department was producing somewhere around $1,000 to $1,250 profit per car. So at a really strong dealership, the total was around $1,500. They are 4 times that. 4 times.
So, Pops, I went and I did a little bit of internet sleuthing. You know, that's what I like to do. $6,000 per new car seems like a lot of money. I know there's a new car shortage and everything. It just
Yes.
seems a little bit excessive. So, you know what I did, Dad? I went to Lithia's website and I found their
Yes.
Florida locations because I was thinking,
Yes.
okay, what better state than Florida to try and figure out, okay, how are they making so much money?
Yes.
Hyundai of Newport Richey is one of Lithia's companies. So you know what I did? I went to Hyundai of Newport Richey's page on joinyaa.com, joinyaa.com/dealers/Florida/Hyundai of Newport. 4 folks have reviewed this dealership. Pops,
Uh-huh.
what you start to read here makes you understand how they're making $6,000 per new car sold. Someone bought a 2022 Hyundai Sonata. They sold it to him for more than MSRP. You can see here they're adding all sorts of crapola to the vehicles. There are multiple community members coming in here telling you about how much they're adding onto vehicles. So it's no wonder. Yeah. Oh man, look at this one. There was a $995 certification fee, this is on a used car, $980 reconditioning fee, $1,700 started at $2,200 permaplate coating, a mandatory $999 pre-delivery service charge, and a total of $5,559 added onto a $23,500 car. They put a super low price online only to add the above options. Like, Dad, it's great, but it's also misleading. It's going to tie right into obviously our FTC conversation, but that's how they're making $6,000 per new vehicle sold, is adding on all the crap.
It's fraud and deceptive practices. There needs to be truth in advertising. Now, truth in advertising could start with, hey, we're Hyundai and we've got engine issues, but don't let that stop you. Okay. I mean, there are all types of ways that you can have truth in advertising, but the big one is that dealers should be forced to sell vehicles for whatever the price is that they have it listed for online. That's the price plus state tax and title and registration fees. No reconditioning fee, no permaplate, no this or that. That should be the price that's advertised for is the price that you should be able to buy it for. if you went into Best Buy to buy a TV that was advertised for $469, and it was in their on their website for 469, you go into the store and they go, it's 469, but but you have to buy our 3-year warranty with that in case there's any issues, and that's another $250. You would be pissed. Okay, we would all be screaming at the top of our lungs to Consumer Affairs, to State Attorney General, to whoever.
Yep.
And yet, in the automobile industry, they are allowed to get away with that on a daily basis. So, yeah, when I ran a new car department, man, I would have loved to be able to cheat people like that so I could make $6,000 a copy. I would have retired 30 years ago if I could have done that. Okay, but the truth of the matter is that's not the way you want to run a business if you want it to be a long-term business. And I don't know, I ran dealerships with the idea in mind that we want this to be around long after I'm gone. And at the major dealerships that I worked at, I mean, I was there like an average of 10 years at a time when I was at these dealerships. So the idea was to be a steward of the business for the owner and grow it in such a way that it could prosper for years to come, because I developed a customer base for them.
Pops, and this is why I'm framing it as greed. Okay, $6,000 per new vehicle sold is greed, and we know exactly where the $6,000 come from. It's from the market adjustments, it's from the added products and things like that. That Mark reminding us, plus in Florida, you've got that $1,000 dock fee. That certainly helps as well. Core guy here in the chat, there's an F&I manager on Reddit on the verge of quitting his $300,000 a year job because his conscience can't handle pushing these bloated add-ons to consumers anymore. Yeah, Dad, if you're working for an owner and your owner is a publicly traded company and that owner says, okay, quarterly earnings are coming around and we need to show that we're strong, that we're winning, what are you going to do? You're going to force add-ons on people and they're not going to know what they're doing. That being said, this is why we exist. 100%. I mean, we beat the drum every single day, but this is why we exist, to counter that. Give people the resources to find the dealerships who are treating them fairly. Give people the resources to cancel those products afterwards and get refunds. Give people the resources to know that they can negotiate certain things. Elizabeth the other day saving $8,000 because she was working with Justice on our team. So it's fascinating, Dad, to see. I mean, greed was the word I chose this morning with intention when setting up the stream, because greed is exactly what it is right now, sadly.
Yes, and it it really doesn't need to be. These businesses can be uber profitable doing it the right way, treating the customers fairly, allowing the customers to make a choice on their own without being pressured into some of these items. It's just, you just have to decide how you want to run your business. I talked about it yesterday. Every day, dealer principals make a decision as to how they want to operate their store. Now, there are many good dealers out there, and to name one of our favorites, Earl Stewart in Florida. Okay, he knows how to run a business. He doesn't charge beyond MSRP. He's not trying to flim flam his customers. He's not putting on a song and dance to have you to it's all about magic. It's misdirection. So while they're adding something here, they have you looking at their left hand over. He's not doing that. I mean, there are dealers that try to do it the right way, and they have proven to be extremely profitable doing it the right way.
And to beat that drum, not to just talk about it, but to give people resources, we have the dealer reviews all updated again this weekend. Please, let's do a live check. That I haven't looked at it yet today. Let's do a live check. Let's see how many dealer reviews there are. And again, I update them on pretty much like a weekly basis. So under resources, leave a review. That'll allow you to, wow, we're up to 2,148 dealership reviews submitted. Back under resources, if you go to the dealer reviews page, that's where you can view the map where you're able to interact with all the different dealerships on the map. And of course, you can break it down by brand, if they're charging MSRP or not. I update this about every week, every other week. So right now, there's not going to be 2,100 reviews on here. There's probably like 1,800 or so. I'll update it again soon. But this is a great resource to see what other community members are experiencing. And people comment on these deals or on these dealerships as well. So let me go back to Hyundai of Port Richey. You can actually submit comments below the reviews. So if you want to start to interact with people who have shared reviews, you can comment down here. So just trying to make light of, or at least, make everyone aware, there are resources. We're not just talking about how bad it is. There are resources out there that you can use to help find those good dealerships. Pops.
Yes.
Pops. Can I give a huge shout out to our community?
Absolutely. Go for it.
All right. We were featured. We, not you, not me, we, all of us, we were featured in an automotive news article yesterday, Dad. Public comments show overwhelming support for FTC car dealer rules. NADA AFSA asked for comment extension past September 12th. Let's read this article, Dad. How's that sound?
Oh, go right ahead, young man.
The first week of public comments on the Federal Trade Commission's proposed rules for dealership advertising and finance and insurance offices saw the National Automobile Dealers Association and the American Financial Services Association ask for an extension. The 60-day public comment window opened July 13th, with comments due by September 12th. Both NADA and AFSA asked for at least another 120 days on top of that. Let me zoom in on this part.
Yes,
Several
please.
dozen comments came in during the first week, the vast majority in support of the FTC taking action. Some credited the Your Advocate Alliance vehicle shopping and consumer education company for encouraging them to comment. Dad, can you take a moment and share with me what went through your mind when you read that yesterday?
Well, I think I let out a yell that went like, yeah, that everybody in the condo probably heard. I was so proud and so excited to see our name listed in, I think it's the second or third paragraph of an automotive news article in regards to what the FTC is trying to do, and that it 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 gives us some credibility that automotive news was forced to try and figure out who the heck we were, because they had been reading comments posted by community members, viewers, that mentioned our name or our organization's name. And it was really an exciting moment for me. I think I sent the article to most of the team because it brought me a great deal of pride. And now I won't get any satisfaction out of it unless we stop NADA and that what the other organization,
AFSA, yep.
from trying to extend add an extra 120 days for comments. It doesn't take 120 days. It doesn't take 60 days. Okay. All the FTC needs to do is go read the comments on our YouTube channel and on our community, so they can see what people are dealing with on a daily basis. And so when we get those rules and regulations enacted, and it's not just getting them enacted, but when we get the oversight to actually call out dealers and fine dealers for violating the rules and regulations, then I'll feel a sense of satisfaction. And if I may say one more thing, I talked to my dear friend Chip yesterday, and he said, I don't know what's going on in Maryland, but they are out and about checking dealers, checking what's going on, doing research into how the dealers are advertising. So the state attorney general in Maryland and some of the other consumer advocacy agencies in Maryland are starting to put some pressure on the dealers there because they know what's going on.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
That's really, really great to hear. I want to pull up this comment here from Tellen, and Tellen, you're a valued member of our community. Some
Yes.
of the FTC proposals are not practical. I wouldn't know how to even begin to retain all advertisements for 24 months or trying to price every ad on that vary by vehicle. Some are regulated. And I agree. I think there are a lot of pieces of this proposed regulation that are going to increase overhead for dealerships and, more importantly, the agencies that work on behalf of dealerships, but they push us in the right direction. They're like the second part of your comment here, or trying to price every add-on that vary by vehicle, like that shouldn't even be a question. Like there should be no add-ons or standard add-ons, and it shouldn't be okay, on this Tacoma we do this and on this Forerunner we do
Hmm.
that. Like the prices should just be the prices, and they shouldn't always vary, because then consumers get confused. Hell, the dealerships might even get confused. We talked about it a while back, Dad. We think a lot of folks that, and you can corroborate this, a lot of folks in the dealership probably haven't even read through all the paperwork that the customer ends up signing. There's so much confusion that goes
Hmm.
on, and I think a lot of what the FTC's sentiment here is to try and simplify that process for everyone, bring efficiency. And I want to just pull up Mark's comment, take about YAA. Yeah, this is not about you and me, Dad. This is about the advocacy movement that we're creating, and Trinoculus sees it here as well. Is there a distant sound of a growing advocacy movement? I hear 100%. Yeah,
Yes.
100%. It's beautiful. I'm so proud.
The whole idea is to bring awareness not only to the FTC, not only to consumers, but to dealer principals, to show them that there is a better way for them to operate their businesses, where they can make the type of profits that they're looking to make, but do it in a more open, honest, and transparent manner. And if we can start convincing dealer principals that that's the way to go, then we will see the changes that we need to see in the industry.
Literally got this text from my sister, your daughter, just a second ago. It reads, "It is wild, all caps, that you and Dad are influencing the federal regulatory process." Yeah, you're damn right, Dad. It is wild, but you know what? We're on the right side of history here. Like the whole
Yes.
the whole idea for YAA, Dad, was I never saw you growing up. Like if you watch the original YAA videos, if you read what I've posted on my personal website, chefska.com, like you don't have to dig that hard. The reason I wanted to start this business, do I think people should be treated more fairly? 100%. Do I think that I wanted to see my dad more growing up? Yeah, I resented my dad growing up because he worked half days to make a
Hmm.
living so that we could go to vacation every other summer. And in the moment I realized that I shouldn't have resented you, I should have resented the automotive industry, because they set up this stupid, inefficient process to maximize profits. Your compensation was directly tied to how much gross profit you could hold. You could hold more gross profit by being an ass to a
Hmm.
customer, by just not
Yes.
disclosing information, right? Explain to
Yeah.
me in what world that's the most efficient market. It's not. So if you think
Well,
we're going to live the rest of our lives operating with inefficiency that just holds back all of us, that you're wrong. You're going to be holding out forever while the rest of us are moving forward. And these regulations, if they're actually enforced and if they're actually put into practice, they help everyone move forward. It's more efficient. The profit will still be there. It'll just be way more efficient.
nobody is saying that dealerships shouldn't make money. Uh, Absolutely, they should. They should be a return on their investment. It's just the manner in how they make the money, and truly, it can be done in a transparent manner. I don't know how many times that I would share with a customer. You want to see the invoice? You want to see what my incentives are from the manufacturer? I'll be more than happy to share everything with you. We just then need to come to a price that is acceptable to you and me, where I can make profit, because I have to make some type of profit, so that, God forbid, if you ever have an issue, I can still be here to take care of it for you. And if you approach it as a collaborative endeavor as opposed to an adversarial one, it works out um, much more nicely for everybody involved. I grew the businesses that I worked at because we got repeats and referrals. We treated our customers well. We would bend over backwards to try and make things right if there were issues. Uh, I remember a time where I delivered. Uh, I, I I think it was an Integra to a customer at the Acura store in Scottsdale, and he came back the next morning and he said, "Listen, I've got 48 miles in the car, and really, I don't really like the color. I'd really like to have this color instead of that color. Is there anything we can do?" I said, "Sure. We'll redo all the paperwork for the color you want on the car that you want. It's the same price. I don't care. And nobody's not going to buy this car because it's got 48 miles on it." I didn't have to do that for the customer, but that was the right thing to do for the customer,
Yeah.
to see to it that he would keep coming back to the store. And I don't know, it's not that hard. I constantly say this. It's not that hard to do the right thing. It's just that most people choose not to. Um,
Let's jump to a couple comments in the chat, Dad, and we've got another story and a really, you got to be kidding me. So a lot
okay.
to do here. We've got from Tony. He says, "Why? Hey, YAA, do you believe something will get done in Illinois? Example: we have hundreds, if not thousands, of complaints to our Attorney State General, and the FTC, and still no sign of anything yet. Illinois was the state that brought the $10 million fine against Napleton. I bet you we
Yes.
see more headlines later
Yes.
on this year, Tony. So
I
stay
would
patient."
think so. Yes.
Chris wants to know, Ray, did I buy a Subaru from you at Fitzgerald in 2003?
You did not. In
2003, you were working.
I was working at Acura North Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. We were still living in Arizona at that point in time. But I would say if you bought one from Fitzgerald Subaru, and you know how they price their cars, the Fitzgerald way. I mean, the price is the price. Damn it, they make it pretty easy. I did help when we had our consulting business. I did help a customer get a car at a Fitzgerald Subaru store, and there was an issue after the fact, and
they were good. They were good.
They stepped up and took care of the customer.
Couple things here, and then we're going to switch gears. We've got from John. He says, "Have enjoyed your work on trying to get the auto industry to be honest and fair. Thank you. There's a lot of work to do, and I hope you will continue to work on this. Not going anywhere. So thank you, John, for your support." And then, Dad, let's jump here to Leon's comment. AT&T is saying the percentage of people who slow pay their phone bills has risen significantly. Dad, I know we didn't queue it up, but you know what I'm going to turn to?
No.
Barron's put out an article just the other day. Auto loan defaults ticked higher, what it means for car stocks and the economy. We're going to focus on one portion of this in particular. It's right here. The CEO of Lithia Automotive, said that the CEO, Brian DeBoer, noted profitability headwinds in Lithia's automotive finance arm due to building CECL reserves. CECL is short for current expected credit losses. It is how companies account for loans they believe will go bad. Building CECL reserves is bad. It means consumers are struggling more to pay monthly bills. So we're starting to see, Dad, what we've had our finger on the pulse of, a beginning of an increase to auto loan delinquencies and ultimately repossessions.
Well, hell, if people can't afford to pay their cell phone bill, how are they going to be able to afford to make their car payment? And cell phone bills can get relatively expensive, but they're nowhere near what a car payment is. So yes, I think we need to expect moving forward that the percentage of people that are having difficulty paying all their bills in a timely fashion, I think that percentage of people is going to go up, and banks and other companies are going to have to have deeper reserves for the expected losses that could occur when that happens. And hopefully, if they have enough in reserve, well, the U.S. taxpayers won't be bailing these people out in the future.
1.3 trillion is the current outstanding auto loan debt. Kerry says it's election time coming up. That's why they are pretending to care. After the elections, with a wink and a nod, it will go back to business as usual. Notice how Coons was hit with a fine in Maryland. Yeah, there's probably something there, but honestly, that's why this organization exists. We care all year round, and we're going to keep trying to build the community up so that we can hold people accountable. Now, Dad, I do want to
Yes.
comment on it. There are now 181 comments on the FTC's proposal page. So congratulations to everyone for supporting and putting your comments there. I'll toss the
Yes.
link to how to where to comment. It's not the easiest website. You figured it out though, so that's a sign that anyone
It's a
can figure
yeah,
it out.
but it's a real honest to God pain in the you know what. They don't make it
Absolutely.
easy.
They don't, but we're gonna get to 1,000. I'm determined to get to 1,000.
And hopefully we can do that by next week. Really? You
You've
gotta
got to
be
be
kidding
kidding me.
me.
All right, Dad. This is a good one. You ready?
Yes.
I'm just gonna read the headline. You're gonna react. Ford and GM seek U.S. okay to deploy self-driving vehicles without steering wheels. Let me read the next line. Both automakers want to deploy up to 2,500 vehicles a year, the maximum allowed under the law for ride-sharing and delivery services. Again, deploying self-driving vehicles without steering wheels. Would you prefer I pull up the Cruise article about how the Cruise cars got stuck? Like, what's your reaction to this?
Well, I mean, you know how I feel about self-driving cars, but to have self-driving cars that that don't have steering wheels or gas pedals or brake pedals or a blinker pedal, a blinker jits and flots and whatever the hell it is. Um, I mean, we know software doesn't always work. I I couldn't get my Bluetooth on my phone to play through my Yamaha speaker system this morning, and the only way I could do it was to restart my phone. And when I did that, it worked. Software doesn't always work. So why would we think that a self-driving vehicle that has no tools for a human being to get into it and be able to move it is a good thing? Because when that software doesn't work, how we how we moving that? I mean, you just have to send a tow truck every time one of these things decides to just, I don't know, I'm done working for the day. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I I mean, just put steering wheels in every car. Just put a gas pedal, a brake pedal. Okay, it doesn't. How many costs do you have to cut? Okay, where don't I just don't. It's just I can't believe some of this stupid poop that people want to do.
I just want to see how long you'll keep going. We've got Michael in the chat. Isn't a vehicle with no steering wheel or gas brake pedal called a train?
it could be, but I think even trains have brakes, and I think they have physical brakes. You know, a lever to pull something. But my God.
You're funny, man. All right, I'm gonna do a quick demonstration of how we actually leave comments on the FTC's page. So everyone, I tossed the link in the chat just a second ago.
It's not easy.
When you land on that page, and I'm sending you to the comments page, that's the link I've put in. You actually want to click on Browse Documents, then click on Comment, and here's where you can leave your comment. So again, let me hit the back button. The link that I put in the chat is to all of the comments, which I encourage you to search through. You can search for my dad's name, for example, and then you're able to see all the comments that mention Ray, which is fantastic. Thank you to everyone who's mentioning Ray. You can search and see who's mentioning YAA. Again, nice search function here, lots of comments. You want to click on Browse Documents and then Comment and leave your comment here. I'm going to upload, just so everyone knows, we have back on the Join YA website, we wrote a response to the FTC. So when you head to the Join YA website, if you go to resources, if you go to blog, it is right here. Car dealers versus consumers, make your voice heard. I'm going to upload this article that I wrote as our response from our organization. So as an organization, we'll be responding to this. And because I am on the website, I will mention, Pops, it was last Monday. We launched our auto insurance marketplace. So if you're in the market to buy auto insurance, get quotes through us. You can go to us and now get all the quotes. We're not the ones that are carriers. We're not taking the risk, but like we put this marketplace together so you can compare quotes from all the different carriers in one place. And obviously, you all know the YAA way. We're not going to spam you with phone calls and all that fun stuff, only if you ask us to reach out to you. So
Yes.
go ahead and give that a try back on the Join YAA website.
Well, that is very cool, and I'm glad that you showed people how to leave a comment. And
Yes.
and I just believe I've said it before. There's power in numbers, and if we can have, say, 1,000 comments in support of the FTC regulations for every one comment that is opposed to it, I I don't know. With those type of odds, you'd have to think that the FTC would say, "Well, you know what? The people really want this."
I've got a meeting with two of the gentlemen on the team, Justin, who you know from the YAA Electric channel, and James, who's our production manager for all the content you see. We're meeting this afternoon, Dad. We're going to do a bit of a media blitz. I want to get like the local news to pick this story up. I want to get the name out there. I want not just us to be beating this drum. This is good for consumers everywhere, and we should have
Yes.
more attention put towards it. So we're going to put an effort into trying to make bring awareness to what the FTC is doing. You can help obviously by sharing the videos, sharing the links, all that fun stuff. Come September 12th, I mean, we want everyone to, like, if there's questions about how the consumer feels about these proposals, we want them to come to us. We want to represent that voice. That's our goal.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Pops, let's call it a show. Tomorrow is my birthday. I can't wait
Yes.
to do the show with you tomorrow. We'll probably dig in more to the loans and the finance bubble. Miss Kimberly Klein will be joining us as well. Saturday on the YAA channel, we'll be going live at 8 p.m. So that'll be quite fun after dinner, after a little bit of a birthday dinner on Saturday.
Yes.
So looking forward to that. Again, the auto insurance, like when people ask us, like, how, obviously we make money from YouTube, which is great. We invest that back into the business to build products. The auto insurance is one of the ways we make money. So if you're going to get auto insurance, you're going to try and see if you can find cheaper auto insurance. Give that a try. We're still running the extended warranty promo, $150 off for the month of July. So if you need an extended warranty, if you want an extended warranty, get it there. And to answer Vanessa's question, did the live with Lucky Lopez happen? The video is dropping on Saturday. We recorded it yesterday.
So yes. Well, a pre-happy birthday to you, handsome, and we'll see you all back here again tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, with more news that you can use from YAA. Thanks everybody for being here today. We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you, Pops.